First, I would like to say that the whole team is very excited. We understand and we know the value of Remy Gardner and Raul Fernandez. We've been following them in 2021, fighting for the Moto2 championship, and they ended up first and second, which was an unbelievable season for them. And we feel honored and privileged to receive them. I would like to say that this is a bit Tech3 DNA to receive young riders, rookies riders, to help them to understand, discover, and use at its full potential a MotoGP bike. This is what we like. We've been quite successful in that in the past, and yeah, the whole thing makes us again very excited and very eager to start proper racing. We've been having two tests, one in Misano before the end of the 2021 season with the two riders, and the Herve test, that was the first 2022 proper test, and that was very promising. And clearly we can see that both Remy and Raul will be competitive, fighting for hopefully the rookie title, but also to be, you know, fighting for top position in the overall ranking. You mentioned passion, and I think the main driving force that I could recognize when I joined KTM was that passion, you know, and that ready to race slogan is not only, you know, for marketing. This is a reality, and you can feel when you come to the racing department in Mundafing, every single person you meet has passion and has got the orange fire inside, if I can say. And we are starting the fourth season together, but I can say that we made tremendous progress. When I see the bike we're gonna start racing with in 22, and I've been, you know, remembering the 2019 bike, it's another world. I think we've been working really well together. I think clearly the fact also that now we've got 4 factory riders, because it doesn't matter if they are in the factory team or in the Tech3 team, they're all full factory riders using the same equipment, the same level of development. And I think this is going to be very, very important to speed up the process of development, to mix the feedback from the 4 riders. And I am very confident that 2022 is going to be more like 2020 than 2021. Yes, you know, in a way, to have concession is helping you to speed up and test more and to speed up the development process. But every single factory who has concession wants to lose the concession, because that means you're competitive and you've been doing great results. So I think KTM is aiming high and is aiming to win races and to win the championship. Then we have to start to understand that concession is something that is only a souvenir, if I can say. So I don't think this is going to hurt us a lot. Clearly, the transition between 2021 has been a bit painful, some of it because of the loss of concession. But I think now we know how to handle the situation without having concession. As I mentioned already, I think to have 4 riders on the same material with the same equipment and the same level of development is going to help the engineer to understand where we have to improve and how to, you know, to do that. So I am not too worried about working without any concession. Anyway, when you're racing, there are rules, and we have the same rules that our opponents, and we want to win without having anything special plus. First, I think our promoter, Dorna, has showed that they managed to cope with the COVID situation through 20 and 21. And I think altogether, Dorna, FIM, IRTA, MSMA, we did it quite well. And we could have a championship in 20 and another with even more races and more countries in 2021. 21 races in 2022, as you said, is going to be the longest ever season MotoGP ever had. I think this is showing the interest the whole world has for MotoGP. This is a good news for all of us, I think. It means also that the championship is going to be long, and you need to be fast, but you also to be consistent fast. You need to be very careful how you handle your physical condition, your mental, approach. Of course, you have to be fortunate enough not to get injured. And I think on top of that, you need to have a team which is on the human side very strong, who works as a family, and especially when you have two rookies riders who have tremendous pressure on them, and they are still very young men. I think it's very important to have a team that can help them to feel in their bulb, to feel, good without having all the problems of the negative problems of the pressure. And 21 races for sure is a lot. We will be traveling a lot. There will be a lot of happenings. It's 4 sessions, a warm-up and a race per event. So you multiply that by 21 races plus the test. So it's, I would say, almost 2/3 of the year that is going to be full dedicated for the riders and the team to race. So it is a challenge, but I believe, KTM and Tech3 and Raul and Remy, we're ready for that. We all know the planet situation. We all know the global warming is a real issue. Some years ago, it was still not very clear where it was coming from, but we know that human activities is producing global warming. We are very concerned as MotoGP, but also KTM is very, very concerned with how to carry on racing, how to carry on moving, being more eco-friendly. And clearly there was a unanimous support from the manufacturers, the promoter, the teams to start from 24 to use 40% biofuel, which is going to be a challenge for the engineer, but a great step to show the world we still can fulfill our ambition, enjoy our passion with being more eco-friendly, and from 27 being 100% biofuel. So this is something we've been pushing. This is something everyone involved in MotoGP is very proud of, and this is something that is for sure going to be more and more important. And this is a message we are very happy as a MotoGP team to pass to the fans and to the motorcycle user. We look like a dinosaur, because I remember when I started to be involved in the Grand Prix racing, we were racing in the city circuit. There were pavement, trees, walls, straw bales sometimes, but they were as hard as a wall. And the main problem for me was to accept the danger, the very nasty accidents I've been, following. And from day one, we've been working on IRTA, International Racing Team Association, and the main target of IRTA was to take care of the safety, mainly the circuit themselves, then to have more runoff area, to have a better paddock, for us to be more professional, but on top of that, priority was safety. And I think we did a great job. Then Dorna joined the championship in 1992. They understood that very well, and all together we improved so much. We have now air fences everywhere. We have now a safety commission every Friday with Dorna CEO Carmelo Espeleta, listening to the riders' comment. Every single Grand Prix we have this safety commission, and I'm very proud of the evolution of what has been achieved the past 40 years, I would say, because motorcycle racing will always be dangerous sport, but with what we did on the circuit themselves, with how we work for the riders' equipment, leather with now airbags, helmet, boots, gloves, chest protection, back protector, everything compulsory, I think we have achieved a great result, and I'm very happy to see that we still have a lot of crashes because every rider is pushing and trying to find the limit, and sometimes he finds it too much. But the casualty and the touch wood, are less and less, and this is something we should also be very proud, because our sport cannot be popular without this never-stopping safety work. I think if we would have asked that to an independent team with 2 rookies a few years ago, they would have tell you, okay, we're going to try to be Rookie of the Year and we're going to try to do a few top 10. But now that will look like a lack of ambition, because recently we saw rookies rider winning races for their rookie season. We saw rookie riders, doing pole position, being quite often on the podium. So I have that in my mind. But also on the other side of my mind, I understand they're still rookie, they have to learn. The level of MotoGP is incredibly high and incredibly tight. So I'm going to be in the middle, I think the first thing is to fight for the Rookies Championship. And there will be quite a few rookies this year, and they are very fast on fast machinery. So this is the main target, win the Rookie of the Year, which is becoming a more and more important championship inside the MotoGP Championship. But I would lie to you if I would not tell you I would dream to have, at least a podium in the season, maybe for each of our riders, and to do a few top 5. Clearly, KTM will have 4 riders on the grid. The first part of the year, the 2 full factory riders, Miguel and Brad, will be the leaders. But I hope that the second part of the year, the 4 KTM riders will be very close to each other, emulate each other, push each other, and then sometimes we could be in front. And if we are in front of the orange troop, I think we shouldn't be too far from the podium.